From setback to comeback, we claim our space. Black women rising, strength you can't erase. Every voice matters, every dream has a place. Where we're writing the rules and taking up space. Beyond the layoff, we are rising, breaking barriers, claiming our throne, redefining what's possible. The future is ours, we're taking control. Yeah. Beyond the layoff, black women rising.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It is your girl, Kelly Charles Collins. Welcome to another episode of Beyond the Layoff, Black Women Rising. Today, we have a special guest. Her name is Serene Hollingsworth, and I cannot wait for you to meet her. And again, as always, I want to thank everybody. When I tell you I'm so excited, when I see the analytics and see all of you watching these episodes, it just warms my heart. And so it is doing exactly what I hoped it would do, which is to amplify, affirm, and elevate the voices of these amazing, amazing women, and make sure that when you watch, you don't just watch, that you share. And if you can support these women in any way, if you have a referral, if you want to hire them, hey, reach out. Reach out. We know that we are in an economy that is rough on us, right? Rough on folks out here. And so whether they're going back into the corporate space or they are starting their own ventures, I want to make sure that we are supporting them. And sometimes support just looks like, hey, sis, I see you, I got you, right? And just making sure that everybody knows that they are not alone. So make sure that you're watching. If you have not watched the first 4 episodes, go watch them. The easiest way, you can go binge watch on my YouTube channel at Speaking of Speaking. So it's SPEAKIN of Speaking is my YouTube channel. So you can go there and just binge watch your life away. Or if you're anywhere on my social media, you can just go to my different social media channels and find each episode. So, if you know anyone where you are her, and you want to be featured on Beyond the Layoff, Black Women Rising, all you gotta do is reach out, DM me, email me, comment, send a carrier pigeon. I don't care what you do, but let's get your voice. Let's get your experience. Let's get everything out there so that we can support you on the next part of your journey. All right, y'all. Now I am going to bring on our amazing guest today, and I can't wait because y'all see what she's up to. Let's bring her on. Hey, Serene.
Good morning, Kelly.
Good morning. Well, welcome to Beyond the Layoff, Black Women Rising. Please introduce yourself to everybody.
First, I want to say, and I know everyone has said this, Kelly, but your intro song, that intro music is everything.
Oh,
I don't know who did it, but it's everything.
AI.
Yeah, love it.
You know, when AI girly, AI.
Even better. Even better. It's great. My name is Serene Hollingsworth. I hail from the Atlanta metro area, currently by way of Chicago, Illinois. I'm excited to be here today. Been in corporate America for a long time, Kelly. We'll talk more about that, but absolutely, I'll tell you, I was never fit for corporate America. Ever.
So many of us, right? So many of us, we start there and we realize that we didn't belong there. I have a life motto that says I belong everywhere I am, but I don't belong everywhere. You see it on my
I see that. Yeah.
And I think that's so true. And I think in this economy and things that are happening in this economy for so many, it has been really an illumination of
Yes,
that idea
agreed.
that, maybe that is not,
Mm.
that's like square peg round hole.
Yes.
Um, so as you know, this series emanated from a conversation with another Black woman who had been displaced during this economy. And I was like, oh, we need to really amplify your voices. And so talk to me and talk to everyone about how it is that you are one of, this 300,000 plus Black women who have been, somebody said that they're leaving the workforce, and it really made me angry the other day. I was like, no, we're not leaving, we're being pushed out, right? So
Mhm.
how is it
Mhm.
that you're one of those people, one of that number?
Woo. Well, my layoff or reorg is recent. So as of September 10th, I was reorged out of the organization that I was with for about 5.5 years. I'd been with the organization. I led an amazing team of account managers for that organization. I came in to that organization at the top of COVID, March 13th, all bets off in the world. I came into that organization and had a blank canvas to create, and that's what I did. I built an entire corporate relations area for that company. And September 10th, I was reorged out of that company.
Yeah. And I know that must have been, you know, like you said, it is fresh. This is a fresh wound.
Yeah.
What was when you learned that you were being reorged, what was that emotion that came up for you?
I have to say that I was not surprised by the reorg.
Okay.
The scrutiny that was coming for months um, let me know that something was happening, right? So I was very clear. I've been in corporate America for a long time, so I know the signs when they're coming. So I wasn't completely caught off guard by it. Um, but the feelings that come, because regardless of whether you know it or not, you don't know the day, right? You
Right.
don't know,
Right.
you don't know that. So when I actually had that conversation that I was being reorged out, I was disappointed. I was disappointed in my leadership. Um, Not surprised, but extraordinarily disappointed by the leadership. I was hurt. There were people on my team that I felt that I would no longer be able to create that boundary for women that look like me inside of that organization that I had been able to provide that covering for would no longer exist. And it I realized that I couldn't stay in that bubble, right?
Mm.
Of caring for others in that way, that I had to really kind of lean in and take care of myself, because I really believe that I poured enough into my team that they would survive and thrive because they are brilliant women, right? And it was hurtful. Um it was dishonest in some ways. I felt like I was talking to complete strangers, on the other side. I didn't say very much. The call didn't last very long, and I was on to the next.
Yeah. It's interesting. When I was practicing law and doing employment law, so I represented companies. So on the opposite side of employees, but that was something that was often said, like when we did mediations or even in trial, it's how cold
Yeah.
and kind of sterile the process is, that
Yeah.
you've worked with people for so long, and you see them every day and you have conversations, and but then that day that process becomes so sterile. And so
Mhm.
the word that you use, disappointment, is one that people don't often use, and I think that is a true emotion, right? It's like,
Mhm.
man, like right. like this, right? It happens like this. And then the
Mhm.
other thing that you said was, I had to start then thinking of me
Yes.
and thinking about, okay, how do I go on to thrive? You're going to be okay, or you're
Yeah.
going to have to be okay because I can't now take care of both you and me. And
Mhm.
so, in that moment, when you think about, okay, now I have to think about what is next for Serene,
Yes.
where did that take you?
Well, let me just say this. For probably 3 years, I've been in therapy.
Okay.
For several months, I'd had a coach, Heather Horton, thank God for her. Um, and so I have been getting support about making decisions like this. I was in a bad place. I was in a bad space. It was very, very, very difficult for me. I'd overstayed my welcome in the organization, right? And I knew that I had put together my own personal economy, right? And
Mhm.
it's something that I share. I share with my daughters, I share with my team. You know, you don't know when corporate America is going to say bye. You could be the best thing ever, and corporate America is like, see you later. We
Yep.
don't want you anymore, right? And so for me, it was looking at, okay, Serene, you've had this time. You what how you going to shift, how you going to pivot. You have a whole business. You have a whole business that you've given pieces of yourself to, and it's time to make that transition
Yeah.
from being employed to employer. And that's what I did. I took my company Sanctuary de Fleur and I said, okay, it's time to move.
Yeah.
Now I had to scale a lot faster, Kelly, than I
Yeah.
had planned.
Listen, but so many. When I started my business, my, speaking business, I started it while I was practicing law full time. I was doing it, right, for a whole year. I was writing my book and doing my TEDx and going out there and speaking. And I did that while I was practicing. There are
Yeah.
so many of us who are doing that. It may just be we may think of it as like this little business over here, but in
Yes.
times like this, that little business can become your economy, right?
Yes.
if we
Mhm.
if we truly lean in. And so, if you have been, if like Serene said, listen, I just looked around, I was like, wait a minute, I've been putting a little bit of myself over
Yeah.
here. Now I could put a lot of bit of myself into this and see what comes of it. So
Mm.
I know it's not easy, right? We
It's
go
not
from,
at all.
because I
Mm-mm.
got fired from my job, and I I was leaving anyway, but but it
Mhm.
happened not in the time that I thought it was gonna happen. It happened way before I thought it
Right.
was gonna happen. And so while you're over here doing this, it's like one foot in, one foot out. It's like, yeah, it's okay. It's okay over here. But now it's like, okay,
Mhm.
I gotta pay attention to that. So talk about what that's like in just saying, okay, I'm gonna take this thing that I've been doing over here on the side, and that thing is gonna become the main thing.
Yeah. You know, for me, I'll tell you this too. So I have ADHD,
Okay.
diagnosed ADHD. And so when I pivot, I pivot. So I am, one of the pluses, minuses about ADHD is that for some of us, we are hyper focused.
Mhm.
And so for me, when I made that shift to Sanctuary de Fleur full time, I was all in. And my goal was to make my net salary, right? In that first 2 weeks, right? So if I could make my net salary in the first 2 weeks of Sanctuary de Fleur, then I knew that I could do it again
Mhm.
and again and again, right? So I had to I cleared off my calendar. I still had my own old company stuff on my calendar. I deleted all the stuff off my calendar, opened it up, and I became very intentional, Kelly, about doing something I hadn't done in a long time, which was communicating with people. Because being in corporate America, your days are long. And by the
Mhm.
time I would get to the end of my day or the weekend, I would be exhausted. I didn't have anything left. But now that is everything,
Mhm.
right? So being intentional about communications, when people reach out to me on LinkedIn, I can't tell you the number of calls I've had with women now, right? Where I get to discuss what I do, what they do, how we partner, how we connect, if we can do anything for each other. I will tell you last week, and I shared this with someone, that I was able to make my net. It was not easy, but I did it. It was a grind and a hustle, like something I have never done before. And it felt amazing. Absolutely.
Serene, what did that teach you about you though?
It taught me that I am brilliant, and I am brilliant. I am a revenue driver, and I can do that for me. I can do that for my business.
That's
I
right.
can drive revenue for Sanctuary de Fleur, much like I've done in corporate America. I can do that for myself. Part of it made me want to smack myself on the hands, right? Like, oh, why didn't you do this sooner? I can't believe it, right? I had that for a moment, you know. And then it was more of a celebration. It was a celebration moment.
I love
Um,
it.
it is. It's like that whole, it's like a, oh, ooh,
So many people, we work in these corporate spaces and we make so much money for other people
yes.
every single day. And we do it, I think we just do it unconsciously, right? We go, we know we're brilliant. We go, we do our work, we lead people, we manage budgets, we do all the things. And then things, something like this happens, and we think, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? How am I going to survive? And if we
Mhm.
just take the time, yes, like I said, last on our last episode, feel all the feels, right? Feel
Yeah.
all the feels about whatever it is: disappointment, fear, grief, anger, shame, relief, whatever it is. Feel all the feels, but then think about what it is that you have been doing. What is the skill transfer
Mhm.
possibility, potential from being in a corporate space? And even if just a bridge, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
Trying to create your own economy. And like you said, Serene, just set a goal. Listen, I need to do something that is going to make me my net 2 week salary, my net
Mhm.
monthly salary, whatever it is. I need to figure out what that is and start thinking about, like, how do I position myself to be able to do that? So when you say, like, you worked hard and you did all the things, tell them specifically, Serene, so that somebody who's like, yeah, I do have this, kind of side hustle that I've had over here. Hey, Allegra. I do have this side hustle. Allegra says, let's put it up here. Allegra says, congratulations, Serene, making your net salary in your own business is inspiring.
It
So we
is.
had Allegra on Black Women Rising. Make sure that you go watch
I
her episode. Um, but talk to people specifically, because sometimes we just don't even know where to start. So talk to them about the things that you did. I know one of the things is you got very intense. One, let me go back. One, I love that you said I went on my calendar and cleared off all the things, right? Because
mhm.
we will leave those things on our calendar and all of a sudden we don't have space. So
Yes.
one, you cleared the calendar. Two, you started talking to people, but tell people, like, kind of step by step, if you can, what you did so that they have a sense of how they can also do
One of the things that I do, one of the first things that I did was I wanted to change the algorithms on all my social media,
it.
because all of my algorithms were pharma, and I didn't want to be in a pharma algorithm anymore. And I wanted to be able to speak what I speak and share how I share and have my voice. That's so important to me, right? So I blocked and removed everything that had to do with my former employer, certain people, companies, businesses, all of that. So I removed all of that stuff. I cleared my calendar. I created blocks of time, 2 hour blocks when I'm in my lab, in my studio. That may look different for people in your office, in your workspace, in your zone, whatever that is. So I have 2 hour blocks on my calendar with on do not disturb, where I will not take a call, et cetera, right? But I also have blocks on my calendar that say, hey, this is open for me to have a coffee chat, 15-minute chats, 30-minute chats, where I'm talking with people who do what I do, people who do something totally different, some other resource. I also keep therapy on my calendar. It is extraordinarily important. It is a standing meeting for me. There is no shame in therapy, please. Um, and then I get it, and even in my home, right, which is where I work from, I shut that off too, right, so that no one could come in. Now there's no one here but my husband and me, but even so, it's shut, it's closed, so that when I'm in there, I am not disturbed. I need that time uninterrupted, and it is respected. And I spend my time in there and I create. And the more I create and the more involved I am in my processes, right? And owning those processes, the better I feel. Another thing that was extraordinarily important for me was also the physical aspect, because I did all the feelings. I did. I had them all. But equally important to me was the physical piece, right? That meant getting out and walking, continuing to work out, whatever that looks like for me, so that I wasn't just all over the place. And if there is anything that I can say, I don't care how small the idea is. I don't care if you are selling baseball caps. It doesn't matter. If you are passionate about it and you want and now have that time to give it the focus, it can transform your life.
Mhm.
It can absolutely transform your life. And maybe it doesn't get the net salary. Maybe my net salary was too low, right? There's that.
Mhm.
Uh, but it can bring in income if you want. And it really is all about, for me, it's time management. It's focus, it's diligence. It's like, I love me. I'm a love me. I'm gonna love me some me.
Yeah.
And that's really what it's about.
What has been the hardest part of that
Mm.
shift from, getting up every day and going into that office to now getting up and going into this office? What has been the hardest shift?
I'm not gonna tell no lies, Kelly. I missed my paycheck. That first paycheck that I missed, I was like, oh, this is not good. um, how do I reset? And so I had that for sting. It was like a
Mhm.
sting for a moment, right? And then it was my motivation. Then it became the motivation for me. It was just became that catalyst for me, the foundation for me. How do I press forward? How do I get here? How do I exceed that number, right? That I lost. And so I think that was one of the difficult things. Probably the most difficult thing was like that shift from the money that's coming in now is the money from Sanctuary de Fleur, right? And so, what can that look like? And the possibilities are endless. In corporate America, the possibilities are not.
They're not.
They are not.
No. In entrepreneurship, your income is limited by your imagination,
Yeah, that's
and by your imagination and by your willingness to go get it,
yeah. Constant
right?
learning too, Kelly. It's a big,
Mhm.
wanting continuously learning. You can get in a role in corporate America and you can become stifled there. You come in and you get it and you can do it day in, day out with your eyes closed, right? Entrepreneurship is not quite like that. You said it at the top, my song, your intro, it came from AI. I spent a lot of time with AI
Yeah.
today. My marketing director is now AI.
That's right. I have a whole team. I built a whole team.
Whole team of AI helping build Sanctuary to Floor.
Yeah. And I call it the wild, wild world of entrepreneurship. That's what that's what listen. It is something. It is especially when you're in certain levels in corporate America, right? And I call it the good check. And
Mhm.
one of the things that was scary for me is, okay, yes, you want to go out into this world and you want to now create your own economy, and you're gonna leave this good check over here.
Yeah.
And so many of us don't want to leave that good check, or are in this situation now where that good check has left us.
Yes.
And so one of the things that we had talked about a little bit before we came on is this whole idea of just always um, being prepared, and always just, to your point just now where you said, listen, we get into these corporate roles and we go to work, we do it. It's like just automation, like we're on automation, right?
Mhm.
And not necessarily thinking about, let me go learn this, let me go do this, especially now with AI. Even if you're, as someone who is part of this 300,000 coming out, and I would just say anyone, like, you have to learn AI. I don't care if it's just like the basics, learning chat GPT. You cannot be afraid of what's happening. And so like you said, hey, my marketing is AI. That
Mhm.
song that you heard at the beginning, AI wrote that. AI wrote it, AI recorded it. I
Mhm.
just gave it the idea, told it what I wanted, and that's what it got. And I have to say, that was like first try. Like, there wasn't
Yep.
any, right? So if you get to the point where you start to lean in, you can really create a lot of stuff. So talk to us about what Sanctuary de Flora is. Like, tell us what that is, and how people can support you and all of that.
Mm. Well, thank you. Sanctuary de Flora is a fragrance house similar to Louis Vuitton, Chanel. It's Sanctuary de Flora. I have launched 5 fragrances. My inaugural launch was I Love My Locks, which is a beautiful fragrance. And my latest fragrance is Monage, My Angel. It launched in October this month during Domestic Violence Awareness Month. It is actually named for Monage is My Angel in French. It's named for a young woman who was a victim of domestic violence. And so we are a socially conscious fragrance house. Every fragrance that I sell, there is a partnership with a local domestic violence shelter here in the Atlanta, Georgia area, Share House Family Crisis Center. And then we also partner with the National Domestic Violence Hotline. So purchase, every single purchase, $1 goes to each of those organizations. And I also provide fragrances to the Share House Family Crisis Center so that when women come in, they get some sense of
Oh,
beauty. I am beautiful. It's a spray of a perfume. I'm still a woman. I'm still beautiful. I'm still here. And so that is very, very important to me. The fragrances are beautiful. I create my fragrances from raw materials. I was born with an intense olfactory system. So I am able to create fragrances. I love them. I think that you will love them. It would be wonderful to have you come and take a look at what our fragrances look like on that side. Sanctuary de Flora.
awesome. What are the notes? Like, what are the
Oh,
different notes within the fragrance?
I work with all notes. I used to say, "Oh, I don't like something," like I don't like rose, and now I have something that has rose in it, right? Um, but there are some things unique to me. So I do. There will always be an undercurrent of resins like amber,
Okay.
labdanum, benzoin. Um, just an undercurrent probably in every fragrance that I create. But top notes can be anywhere from jasmine, ylang, Bulgarian rose, hedion, you name it. They can be there. It takes hours and a lot of money to create fragrance. Um, it's not something that you walk into and say, I want to be a millionaire.
Right.
Um, I'm going to be a
But you never
millionaire.
know. Claim
But
it.
you never know. It is enjoyable work. I love giving back. I love my partnership with Share House Crisis and Family Center here in the Georgia area in Douglasville, and that's what we're about.
Yeah.
Socially conscious, giving back, creating fragrances that are absolutely beautiful for men and women.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Awesome. And if somebody wanted to support you and support Sanctuary de Fleur, how do they do that?
You go to the website, and I'm going to ask Kelly to type it in there so that you don't
Okay.
get uh, mixed up about it at some point. But it is sanctuairedefleur.com in French, Sanctuaire de Fleur.
Sanctuary. Let me spell it correctly.
I'm gonna type it in the chat, Kelly, for you, so that you
Um,
have it for the people. And also you can go to my LinkedIn page, and you can find out about Sanctuary de Fleur and track us there. And I'd be happy to talk to you about our fragrances, partnership, collaboration, walking you through this journey, of being laid off, let go, fired, terminated, displaced, whatever it is. I don't own Displaced, but I'm happy to have those conversations with you, and would love your support and to have you try fragrance.
and so you said there's fragrances for men and women.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So that's a good thing to know because sometimes people, especially the name is beautiful. It leans towards more like women.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
men may say, "Oh, that's not for me," but it is for you.
It
So,
is for you.
yep, I did get the right. Okay. So we gotta make sure men and women, you can
Yeah.
purchase it on Serene's website.
Yes.
And think about what Serene has been telling you about the things that she looked at and what she thought about when she's like, okay, let me start doing, the things to get myself in order to make this pivot. And for some of you, it may be a short-term pivot. It may just be
Mhm.
the stopgap. You may say, this is not everybody wants to be an entrepreneur, and not everybody should be an entrepreneur.
True.
And so, it may just be for the moment, right? And then while you're doing that, still be looking for a role in corporate America, still be looking for what it is that you want to do long term, but don't forsake your gifts. We are
Yeah.
so gifted. So many of us are gifted, and we tie so much of our identity and our value and our worth to these jobs that when we lose our jobs, we feel that we have lost everything. And one of the things that I had to think about, and I see you, Serena, I'm coming right back to you. One of the things that I when I lost my job, I was like, yeah, I lost my job. I didn't lose my identity. I didn't lose my
Mhm.
skills. All the things that I learned for those decades as a lawyer, you can't take that from me. Like I know it,
Mhm.
right? I do it every single day. You can't take it from me. So we have to we have to also start to like fortify ourselves in that way to understand that our identity is not something that people can take from us willingly. We
Yeah.
can give it to them, we can give it
Mhm.
away, but they
Mhm.
can't take it willingly. Go ahead, Serena. I know that you wanted to chime in.
No, no, I was just gonna chime in. I was just okay in that back here on the pew, the back pew. I was amen, amen on the back pew. It is. I mean, I thought for a moment like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I woke up the next day. I'm like, oh my gosh, what do I do? I was director. I was, doing this thing in corporate America, and I didn't even like it. And I was there. My voice was muted. I couldn't, all the things, right? And I'm like, what do you like? What do you like? What do you mean? What are you gonna do? You gonna
Right.
scream? You can scream out the window, all those things. Um, and a shift happens once we get through all the fields, Kelly. A shift does happen.
Mhm.
This is not the first time I've been reorged out of a
Yeah.
company. And invariably, my faith and my God have seen me through on the other side every single time.
Yeah.
Every single time.
And every day that we wake up, we have the opportunity to do something,
Yes.
right? We have the opportunity to make a decision. And some days that decision is to get back in the bed under the
Yeah,
covers. And
I
so,
did that. I did that, Kelly. I did that. I'm not getting out of bed today.
yeah.
Bring me some lunch.
So I want to show you something. I want to show you a comment that just came up. And Allegra says, Serene, your whole demeanor shifted when you started talking about Sanctuary de Fleur. And I love it. The way you light up about creating fragrances through your business in Metro ATL is absolutely beautiful. I love that kind of purpose driven passion.
Oh, thank you. That almost like brings tears to my eyes, seriously, because that's how I feel. And she's not the only person. Thank you, Allegra, not the only person who said that. I think when you hit that moment in that space in your life, when you know you are called to something, everything changes. I've
Everything.
never felt that way about corporate America, but I know that there are people who do, and I respect that. There are people who love their roles and love their jobs, and they want another one. They want to get back in there, and I want that for you, and I want you to have that passion and that purpose, and that ability to serve authentically as a Black woman in the workplace.
Yeah,
And if entrepreneurship is it, bit by bit, make it
that's
happen.
right. Yeah.
Bit by
Because
bit.
even the careers that we had, right? We started one one at a time, one little piece at a time, one role at a time, right? One promotion at a time, one whatever at a time.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing in entrepreneurship. And I know the internet can drive us crazy because we come on the internet and everybody's like, "Oh, I made $1 million yesterday." Like I just closed my eyes and blinked 3 times and I made a
Right.
million dollars, right? And so the pressure is on. You come out into this space and the pressure is on. And as an entrepreneur, I felt that pressure. And I have to at times just be like, Kelly, stop. Like you are enough. Like you are brilliant. Stop. Right. Don't keep looking at those things because you have all these things that are just coming at you every single day, every single day, every single day. And I think that's something that in this moment when people are making this shift and this pivot is to breathe, is to get back in the bed if that's what the day calls for, is to go for a walk, is to scream out the window, is to just lock yourself in the office and be like, "Oh, we going in today." Right?
Mhm.
Um, right. Don't talk to me. I got work to do. I am all in. Whatever
Yes.
it is that you're feeling, whatever it is that you're being called to, do that, but don't do nothing.
Yes.
That right? Don't do nothing. And when you're in the bed and you're laying in the bed, that's not doing nothing. That is rest. That is
Mhm.
restoration. So it's not nothing. Go ahead, Serena.
Mhm. No, that is, it's just, that is so, I think my coach and my therapist told me the same thing. Um, you know, be, be.
Absolutely. Be.
It's just be. Be in this moment. If you don't want to work out today, don't work out today. If you just want to read a book of fiction because you have not had a chance, an opportunity to do that because you've been reading manuals, read the book of fiction.
Yeah.
Be kind and gentle to us, and to others. We don't know what people are going through. We don't.
Yeah.
We don't.
If someone wanted to support you, like what are the types of people, opportunities that you spaces, expertise, resources, relationships, what would be supportive of you?
Absolutely, social media.
Mm,
I appreciate people who love social media. So having someone to support in that way, in that space, for Sanctuary to Floor, and for me, for that matter. Um, although, like you, Kelly, I've built an amazing team on AI. There's nothing like human connection, from a marketing perspective, and supporting and breathing life and having an opportunity to collaborate with
mhm.
others who have, the ability, or that's your skill set. I am also driving from a revenue perspective, but I do like to have someone kind of challenging me on my numbers and my, where I come in my head and then somebody else looking at it. And though my husband does that, is a little different. So, someone who is in that space as well would be absolutely supportive. I really go hard for domestic violence.
Mhm.
If there are local to the Atlanta metro area, if you have a shelter, living space that you have created or provide for, I would absolutely love to connect with you and to reach out to see how we might be able to partner together. Those are ways that support and help and resources would be wonderful.
I love that. I love that. So you all heard it. Don't pass by it. Make sure, listen in your network. Maybe it's you, maybe it's somebody that you know. If you can support Serene, please, please, please reach out to her on LinkedIn or on her website. The link is in the comments. And Serene, if you had all 300,000 and counting
Mm,
women in a room with you,
mm,
what would you say to them?
mm. You embody love. You are brilliant beyond your wildest imagination as a Black woman. And if you put your heart, purpose, soul, spirit, mind into a thing, because we are natural creators, you'll give birth to it. You will. We will give birth to it. Um, I believe that about every Black woman that I have encountered. Every time I see a layoff, it impacts my soul. It just it hurts my soul. But if I could share that message over and over and over and over again, I would. And I sis, we're gonna come out of this better. And AI has changed the game. It has changed the game. It has leveled the playing field for us. So use it and get with it, but don't allow corporate America to define your worth.
Yeah.
Do not.
That is awesome. Thank you so much. Thank you
Thank
so much for that.
you.
Thank you for sharing your gifts. Thank you for sharing your story. And what I love about all the stories that we have been able to tell is they're similar in ways, but they're also very different. The reactions, the emotion, the steps that we've been taking, that you all have been taking in order to make the shift. I think it's so helpful for everyone. I always say this: it's not, yes, this focus is about Black women, but it's for anyone. It's for anyone who's in this shift. It's anyone who's losing, their job. There's so many people across the spectrum
Yes.
in this economy that are losing so much of so many things, right? It's
Yes.
not just jobs, it's healthcare, it's housing, it's all the things. And so part of this is for us to, I always say that women are powerful at our core. And I used to do fitness bikini competitions. I used to compete,
Ah,
and one of the things that we worked on was to make sure that my core was very strong, right? So I had
mm,
ripped abs and everything. The reason I always talk about being very strong at your core is because when your core is strong and when your core is tight and you understand that, there's nothing that can knock you over. It will knock you right about. And so you will weeble and you will wobble. However, when your core is tight and it really holds you, you understand that that is the center for you. It's not going to knock you down. It
mm,
will knock you
mm,
back all the way, but you will come back up because your core is so tight. And so I always talk about women being powerful at their core. And I
mm,
want to, as you listen to this series, as you internalize the things that you're hearing and you watch over and over and you read the summaries that I do like on Substack and everywhere else, you're taking in this information and take in the pieces that serve you, discard the pieces that don't. Take in the things that apply to you, discard the pieces that don't. This is not a, everything fits for everyone. And so really just lean in to where you are and what it is that you want to create going forward, whether that's going back into the corporate space, whether that's in entrepreneurship, whether it's having a foot in each place. You get to decide. You get to decide what you want to do. You get to decide what your life looks like. You get to decide your life, your living, your legacy. And so, Serene, thank you again for being an amazing guest. Thank you for standing and stepping into the power of who you are. I wish you the absolute best with Sanctuary to Floor. I know that it is going to be on shelves everywhere. If that's your dream, if that is your dream. So thank you for being a guest, and everyone, please reach out, support everyone who has been on here, support anyone that you see posting on LinkedIn who's saying that they have lost their job, they're looking for a job. I know the LinkedIn police. I know y'all are like, that's what this is for. When people come on and share what's happening with them, some of y'all get upset about it. Put yourself in their shoes. Put yourself in their shoes. And so if the most that you can do is just comment and just be like, I see you, or share their post, or send a job posting that you see their way, send a referral that way, support them in their entrepreneurial ventures, whatever it is. We can all do our part. Like, each single one of us is powerful enough to change the world. And so if we just do our part, it will compound. And for me, that's what this Black Women Rising, Beyond the Layoff Black Women Rising is about, is doing my part with hopes that it will compound over time for everyone who is a part of it and those who, support around it. So beyond that, beyond the layoff, if you want to, really work on your positioning, if we're talking about how do I go from the corporate space into entrepreneurship, and how do I get through all of the noise, and how do people see me when there's so many people out here and everybody's doing whatever they're doing, and a lot of them lying about what they're doing. But anyway, a big part of that is positioning. And so November 3rd through the 5th, I'm going to switch out the Chiron so that you have the link. But November 3rd through the 5th, I am hosting Positioned for Profit. It is a 3-day virtual experience. And we're going to be working on just that. How do you show up profitably and powerfully in the world? How do you make yourself different? How do people see you different than the other people who are doing exactly, what you're doing, speaking about the same thing that you're doing, have the same level or, similar levels of expertise as you? Who are the people who are supposed to be attracted to you? We're going to work on that. We're going to work on making sure that this goes to what Serene was talking about earlier. Serene talked about that she went and scrubbed her LinkedIn, because when we're in the corporate space, we're doing the corporate things and we're followed by the corporate people, and we're in that space. When you're moving, when you're shifting, all of this has to shift, right? Because then you'll be like, well, why aren't people paying attention to what I'm doing? Because they're not the people that should be paying attention to what you're doing. Your feed no longer looks like what it's supposed to look like. And so scan the QR code to join me November 3rd through the 5th. We're going to be helping you with developing your content around this new level of authority. What is the authority and influence that you want to build? So we're going to build out your 90-day plan and also your 30-day content calendar. Because one of the hardest things is, like, well, what do I talk about? What am I going to post about? Well, you don't have to worry. You don't have to worry. You're going to leave with what you need to talk about, what you need to post about. It's all going to be done for you. We're going to be leveraging AI to do all of this. And then finally, on day 3, we're going to talk about money. Because listen, I don't care what anybody says. We're doing this for money. And I'm not ashamed of it, right? Money is not the root of all evil. Money is frequency. Money is currency. And money is energy. My friend always tells me money is energy. And so we're going to be helping you to build a 90-day revenue roadmap. So Serena talked about, one of the things that she said, listen, if I can make my salary, my net salary, right, then I know that this can work. And so maybe that's, the number that you work on. Like, I want to make sure that in the next 90 days, I can make my net salary for the 3 months or for a month or whatever it is that is your test to help you understand that this is a viable option for you to go out and leverage your expertise to make money. So day 3, you're going to leave with a 90-day revenue roadmap. I have built all of these AI tools based on my expertise, my knowledge, what I've known, what I've done in building my own multiple six-figure business. So I am going to, you get all that. So November 3rd through the 5th, go to positioned for profit, the number 4profit.com, and register, scan the QR code, go to the link. I'll put the link in the comments for you. If you have any questions about this episode, if you have any questions about Serene and her business, maybe, if you want to carry her fragrances. Hey, Chef Javon. Hey, B Brandocious. Hi, everybody. What's her? Yoso Yella. I like it. Yosoy Yella. On Instagram. Hey, y'all over there. Thank you for joining us. Thank you, everybody, for continuing to support our series. I would love to see you November 3rd through the 5th. Go grab your ticket. Do not wait. It is virtual. You could be in your bed doing it. Just make sure that you're there to implement, because it's not information, it is implementation. And until next time, until we have another amazing guest, I will see you. Make sure that you share this with 3 people, post it on your social media, look at what are the takeaways. Let us know what your takeaways and your aha moments are. You all have been really good about doing that. And Serene, anything you want to close out with?
Just thank you, Kelly. Thank you for making a space for us.
You're
Thank you.
welcome. You're welcome. Here's Allegra. Allegra says, amen. I was saying yes to a lot of what Kelly and Serene shared. Rest is doing something, Kelly. Just be serene. Those words hit deep. Sometimes rest isn't about inactivity. It's about being intentional with our peace and presence. Absolutely. Absolutely. Thank you, Allegra, for chiming in. Let me make sure, see if there's anything over on Instagram. They are good over there. All right, y'all. It is amazing. Today is my mom's 86th birthday, so I am going
Happy
to go give
birthday.
her a big hug, go see her, and wish her a very happy birthday and so many, many, many more. I am because of her. And so until next time, take care.
Thank you, Kelly. Thank you, everybody.